There's a silence that speaks louder than words, a subtle shift, a quiet pullback, and suddenly, she feels it. You're no longer chasing, no longer available, no longer trying to earn what should have been naturally reciprocated. This is the moment the power dynamic changes. And make no mistake, she notices. When a man begins to detach, not out of manipulation, but out of clarity, a woman's instincts are triggered at the deepest level. But here's what most men don't understand. A woman doesn't react logically. She reacts emotionally, and her reaction when she senses your withdrawal says everything. In this narration, we'll break down the real signs. What she does when she feels you slipping away, why her energy changes, and how you, as a Stoic man, must respond with calm, grounded presence. 1. She becomes more curious. At first, she's confused. She senses a shift in your vibe. Your texts are less frequent. Your tone is no longer needy. You're no longer orbiting around her attention. This isn't about games. This is about reclaiming your time, your energy, your focus. And suddenly, she starts asking questions. Are you okay? What's wrong? You seem distant lately. Curiosity replaces comfort because she no longer feels certain about her position in your life. A woman who once took your affection for granted now begins to investigate the silence. This is not punishment. This is nature. What is abundant is ignored. What is scarce becomes valuable. A Stoic man does not react to curiosity with performance. He maintains his frame. He doesn't explain his detachment. He simply lives it. 2. She increases her presence. If your detachment is genuine, not reactive, not fake, she feels it in her nervous system. And many times she will begin to show up more compliments, more touch, more initiative. Why? Because emotional scarcity has replaced her previous comfort. She now realizes that your energy is no longer a given, that your attention is not guaranteed. In psychology, this is called the pursuit curve. The more one person withdraws, the more the other leans in to reestablish emotional homeostasis. But a Stoic man doesn't lean in when she does. He allows the imbalance to expose the truth. Was her affection real, or was it fueled by control? Let her come to you, but don't move your center, because once you become indifferent to validation, you become free. 3. She tests you. Here's where it gets tricky. When she realizes she's losing influence, she may begin to test. She might try to provoke jealousy, bring up other men, act flirtatious around others, or become passive-aggressive. This is not love. This is fear, masked as pride. A woman who fears losing a high-value man may use tactics to reignite your pursuit, not because she wants to connect, but because she wants to feel in control again. This is the moment most men fail. They bite the bait, react, chase, try to prove their worth again. And just like that, she wins. But the Stoic man does not react to chaos. He sees through the emotional noise. He remains composed, observing, unshaken. Her test is not your call to battle. It's her way of regaining emotional balance in a world where you're no longer chasing. Let her test. Let her wonder. Let her feel the weight of your absence. 4. She tries to reopen emotional access. When she realizes her tests aren't working, she may shift to softness, out of nowhere. I've been thinking about you. I miss how things used to be. I feel like we've drifted apart. These are emotional probes, attempts to rebuild the bridge that your detachment has burned. It's important you don't misread this as transformation. Emotional warmth after detachment is not always sincerity. Sometimes it's strategy. A Stoic man doesn't fall for emotional swings. He watches patterns, not performances. He doesn't block her for attention. He doesn't ghost her to punish. He simply rises above the noise. Silence becomes his response. Clarity becomes his compass. And unless her words are backed by sustained congruent action, he remains unmoved. 5. She mirrors your energy or walks away. Eventually, the reaction will come full circle. If she respects you, she may step up. If she doesn't, she will mirror your indifference, either in peace or in resentment. And both are fine, because a Stoic man knows, when your energy no longer feeds dysfunction, the truth reveals itself. Either she grows with you, or she fades away. But you no longer suffer either outcome. Because detachment is not about punishment. It's about protecting your peace. You're no longer performing for her affection. You're no longer addicted to her reactions. You're no longer molding yourself to her moods. You've returned to yourself, to your mission, to your inner stillness. And when a woman realizes you found peace without her validation, she will either rise to meet you or vanish to find someone else to control. Either way, you win. Stoicism is not a tool to manipulate others. It's a path to liberate yourself. When you lose interest in a woman who once ruled your emotions, and she notices, the shift is powerful. But the most important change is not her reaction. It's your transformation. You no longer need to chase. You no longer need to prove. You no longer need to explain your worth. Because now, you found the most attractive energy on earth, self-possession. Let her wonder. Let her react. Let her return. Or let her disappear. You remain rooted in the one thing you can always control: yourself. Comment below. Have you ever pulled away and watched her energy shift? Subscribe for more Stoic dating wisdom, emotional detachment, and psychological clarity. Watch next. When she pulls away, do this. Stoic reaction guide. Until next time, stay grounded, stay free, stay stoic.